Yo, yo, King Jesus, what's up? How's it going? Hope your day is going well. It's a nice Friday. It's cold out here though. It's fucking cold. This is. I just gotta check some. Oh, what the? I guess I gotta re-add chat every time. There we go. No, it should show up. Yeah, chat. Yeah, chat's invisible now. So, how's it going? We fixed it. I got it. We're gonna be looking at some sick art today. Another AI artist. Just working. Yeah, I'm just gonna squeeze that a little bit there. That's pretty good. Just chilling, just working on some promo stuff for my collection. Nice. I'm doing pretty good. Um, what is it? Yeah, I have to thank you again for picking up that piece. I appreciate it, man. I really appreciate your support. And then, um, I just did some art stuff. A friend of mine is what is it? Like making a Discord, and so he invited me on there. And then other than that, just literally art stuff, and then trying to relax a little bit. My girlfriend, what is it? Got well, no, because I have Xbox Game Pass. She's a fucking Age of Empires gamer, and so she's been playing Age of Empires 4 like a mad motherfucker, and Stardew Valley like a mad motherfucker. It's hilarious. Yeah, we'll wait a little bit, see if anybody else joins, and then we'll get going. I'm gonna be looking at some sick art. Some sick art. I hope that the chat size is not too small. Let me know if it's too small. I'll make it bigger. That's my bad. Man, today, like I was saying earlier, we're gonna be looking at another sort of AI artist, but this artist is gonna be a little bit different um, than usual. It's sort of like figurative AI works, if you will. Very cool. It's so it's another example of what's gonna sort of become foundational work um in the space 5 to 10 years from now. And yo, King Jesus, I know you got some Tez burning a hole in your pocket, so maybe I don't know if you know about Von Doyle actually. Well, to those watching and to those joining, the artist we're gonna be looking at today, it's chat looks good to you. Hell yeah. We're gonna be looking at the work of Von Doyle, insane artist on Hen and on the Ethereum space. So it's gonna be fun. Yeah, I'll just wait, another minute, and then we'll get going. I was trying to find what is it? Some different music for this, and so much shit's copyrighted, and everything gets automatically claimed already that it's a fucking annoyance. I'm like, I want to get some like good, beats or something, and I can't. I'm actually curious. What music do you listen to, King Jesus? Yeah. Anyways, we will get going. I gotta disable. There we go. And we'll get going. Um, to those who just joined or anybody listening, hello, welcome to our artist talk. Oh no, not artist talk. Forgive me. Our artwork breakdown. This one is the 11th stream, something like that. Yeah, the 11th streamed artist breakdown for this week. Well, this week's gonna be the 11th, and if you joined a bit earlier, if you've been listening to this thing for a while, we're gonna be looking at the work of Doyle, and so. Before we jump into that, if you ever want to get in contact with me, you can tag me in the Metakey Discord, and I'll respond to you there. And then the Duat Residency channel, go share your art over there to anybody listening if you're an artist. And over on Twitter, you can tag me at Anubis_3100. I'm pretty responsive on both socials, and so I'll respond to you there. And yeah, so now onwards to Von Doyle's work. So if you're ever curious and you want to try to message Von Doyle or anything, his Twitter is at VONDOY. Alright, it's being showcased here on stream right here. This is his Twitter. Really nice art. Go follow him. Now you're like, oh, why don't you follow me? I actually do not know. Twitter has been actually weird. I was talking with somebody about this in a space yesterday. I was like, I've been noticing Twitter pulling some random fucking unfollowed shit. But yeah, so today we're actually gonna be specifically looking at his work over on Hicketnook. It's he produces a lot over there, and its value has gone up substantially. I also haven't seen this little account, so we're gonna take a look at this pretty quickly. Okay, so these are his little tests and ideas. Yeah, so this is his hen or Hicketnook account. It's pretty standard, hen layout. He's minted quite a fair bit, which is quite nice. He has a lot of work. And you could already see what I mean by AI, like figurative works, right? So we're gonna pick a few pieces and then we're gonna zoom in. You know how we do it. Some of these I actually haven't seen. And let's just pray Hicketnook does not break. Because if it do, I'm gonna be very sad. What is? Oh. Let's see. Everybody likes that Goya piece for some reason. I don't know what the fuck's happening. Everybody's jumping on Goya again now. I'm like, goddamn, Goya's been fucking lit for fucking years. Anybody who doesn't know Goya is, I'll show you right here. Goya. I think it's Francisco Goya or Francisco Goya or De Goya, something like that. Insane painter and drawer and overall artist. I've actually made multiple studies. One of the very first drawings I ever sold was a study, and I made a painting of this. This is one of his gnarly depictions, I think, of the Spanish Civil War. But he's most famous for Saturn devouring his son, right? Or I think it's called the Black Paintings, when he lost his hearing, and towards the end of his life, he lost his hearing, and his paintings essentially like become like 10 times darker and shit. Little detour, I guess. We'll do it. Francisco Goya needs to be looked at no matter the time. Donate this. Yada yada bing. Is it? Yeah, black paintings right here. Oh. Saturn devouring his son is part of it, but I think, what is it? Yeah, after he left him deaf, and then, oh, I'm trying to find it. At the age of 75, alone in mental physical despair, he completed the work of his 14 paintings, which all were executed on oil directly on the plaster walls of his house. Right, so yeah, they were painted on the walls, and they're great. I recommend if you ever get the chance to see a Goya piece in real life, to do so. It's like bliss. Anyways, we'll start looking at these, and immediately right off the bat, if you've noticed, a lot of Von Doyle's work is old Renaissance paintings. And if you're listening to this and you're wondering about copyright, they're copyright free. The artists have been dead for over fucking 70 years, and it's different enough that even I look at it as a completely modernized and different work, right? And so if you're like, oh, copyright and all that jazz, nah, it ain't. Not here. And so get out of here, Brave. So we're looking at Pandora, AI generated art with the human touch. So part of me wishes he would say which paintings he's using. I'm pretty sure that's the Sistine Chapel. That looks like it's the Sistine Chapel paintings. If you're not aware, that's Michelangelo's. I'm still here, man. Just after we can chat while I'm working. Oh, dude, no worries, my G. Do your thing. And so Pandora, someone took her eye. He took a look at what pleased her so, and out came the grief and woe we won't ever be rid of, for heaven had hidden that in the jar. J.W. Waterhouse. I do not know who J.W. Waterhouse is. You already know it's successful work, because... Oh... Orientalist Men's. I've seen his paintings. I actually didn't know his name. I think I have this saved on my laptop actually in one of my reference folders. Damn. Yeah, so this is what you would sort of classify as somewhat Orientalist paintings. Is he the one that painted Ophelia? No. Maybe. Who painted Ophelia then? Sorry, you see a lady in Irvin and you're like, Ophelia? Maybe actually. But yeah, that's what you sort of classify as. I know what this would classify as. Yada yada yada. Yeah. Yeah, I sort of. Well, it's not Orientalist per se, because some of these are old, maybe mythological in a sense, right? And also, I would say Orientalist and like stylistic methods used. Maybe not even that. Goddamn, his shit's messy as fuck. Well, at least we have a good reference for the sort of inspiration. But let's zoom in on the work. Oh damn. It's one that I'm always a fan of these little circles that appear through his AI works. I don't know how he gets them, but they're actually wild. I am super convinced this is fucking the Sistine Chapel. Like ceiling. Sistine Chapel. Do excuse my spelling, it's fuck. It's so bad, wow. Me? Am I tripping on something? Weird. I could have sworn it's the Sistine Chapel. Am I getting my art history confused here? Maybe I am. What about this John Williams? Did he? What happened to the music? Also, that just stopped out of nowhere. Hmm. I'm personally I'm comfortable with saying it's the Sistine Chapel. Now I'm just gonna go. What is? Oh wow, this is literally just an hour of dead air. Wow, you're gonna get me copyright? No. There we go. Um, and I'll tell you why I think this is sort of the Sistine Chapel. It's the clouds. It's these two figures, and it's also the way these figures are composed. Right? It could be trained on multiple images of the Sistine Chapel, and also like notice how closely you can actually zoom in, um, and how great detail you can. Right? Like look at that. Now, I guarantee you some of this pixelation is because the size limit and the actual quality of this might be really insane, right? But even this, look at the detailed faces, right? Here, let's zoom in. Like, you get, I think some of these are like dog eyes or something. Like, this sort of feels as if it's a dog eye, right? The figures that the AI produces, it's actually so cool and so unseen before. But also seen in a sense that it's actually it's like it's a fresh. Holy hell! God damn it! This pop up thing is ass. It's like a fresh new insight. Like look at that. Like wow, it's almost like cubist in a sense too. It's actually wild. Trident, like pitchforks and shit. Hmm. Let's zoom in on this baby right here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I I wouldn't bet anything on it, but I have a feeling that's a Renaissance trained sort of Renaissance trained painting. Oh my god, yeah, that's actually wild. It's actually crazy. Like it's the forms that are being made. Like my brain is going is going crazy with just like source material and ideas. It's like because we haven't seen figures like this painted, and so it's like seeing something new that hasn't been produced before, and now we get to reuse it and produce work built upon it, right? And so it's going to be so vastly different compared to other works that have been produced in the past, and I'm legitimately legitimately excited, right? Like look at, there's a figure in the eye, right? You sort of can tell like the process, like, oh, mid learning maybe, or give it a few, I guess, more like life rounds or training sessions. But even then, like, that's very cool. And that feels like it's like a dog. It's like a dog ear right there. It's a dog nose. Wow, that's actually wild. It's like training pictures with like Renaissance imagery. Yo, let me put my dog in the Sistine Chapel real quick. Fuck it. Might as well. Shit. I mean, Michelangelo did put himself in there, right? If you're ever curious about the Sistine Chapel, right? And you're like, Michelangelo put himself in there? Yeah, he did. Where, you might ask? um skinned man's right there. That's the boy. That's supposedly, if art historians are to be believed, that's Michelangelo. He's the skin dude, which is actually crazy. Tell me you don't see fucking Renaissance figures and like, come on, come on. I ain't tripping on this. I ain't tripping. Yeah, you can see sort of the dogs. And then you also gotta look at this background though. Like, look how nice and a good perspective, a good sense of perspective and distance you get. Right, receding back buildings and like sort of abstracted buildings. And then the AI also mimics like fog, and then dog hair turns into figures. It's fucking crazy, dude. Fucking wild. Look at that. Look at that subtle figure. I need to paint that shit. Like legit. Goddamn, look how subtle that is. Like, right, dog right there. Dog ear, I think. Sort of, maybe. God damn. Look at these figures right here, sort of a face, arm right there. Right? This figure right here also. Wow. Just literally, like, you can do this with like a few brush strokes. That's fucking crazy. I mean, it goes to show you don't need that much detail to also, like, you know, trick the. That's the term we use in universities and in the fine art space, you know, within quotation marks, if you will, right? It's your eye can be tricked, right? And so you don't need a lot of detail. Brave really needs to get its fucking zoom together, right? Like, that's just a hole and some fucking shading, right? That's just a difference in tone and like not rough shading, some smooth shading, right? And it still reads. I fully don't know what sort of control Von Doyle has over his shit, but it's actually crazy to look at. So this is Pandora. It's like, you know, Pandora's box, sort of. And if you're wondering, oh, do artists write a lot of poetry? Yes, they do. Artists do write poetry. It's fucking crazy. If you ever want to meet a depressed artist, ask them, yo, can I read your poetry? And they're gonna be like, oh shit. So this is Eros Rising. AI generated art with a human touch. Eros is everywhere. It is what binds. Jean Updike. I'm curious. If I take this and put it there. American novelist. I really wish he put the paintings he was using, or sort of the paintings he's trying to, you know, style it again, you know, or AI manipulate, just because we could have like a little bit of reference, like the art historical reference to the actual like figures in the background. It doesn't deter from the work. Oh god, fuck you, Brave. It doesn't deter from the work or anything. It would actually add to the work. Because it allows us to like compare and contrast, you know, between the AI and all that jazz. I've looked at this before, actually. I'm like, but I don't have the TES. It's like 60 TES. So this is Eros Rising. You can't zoom in as much as this one, unfortunately, but still, you get an insane detail, and and you get to see sort of the same things, right? Like the training that gets kept for the AI, right? Such as these circles and the backgrounds, right? You see it here and also here. They look like grapes in a sense, you know. It's like Greek grapes or like Renaissance depictions of grapes, like really fancy grapes. It's pretty cool. See, the figure has wings. I don't know if that's like a dog in the background, but if you zoom in a little bit more, well, if you notice that there's like figures sort of have that in the background, but also her face is sort of blending in a little bit. It's like multiple faces, and also look at the eye, the mouth. There's like an eye in it. It's actually wild. Who would have thought AI would produce this sort of work that you could like stare at it, you know, for a good amount of hours. I think like these like might be monkeys or something. It's a mixture of the hair and the color tones that they have. Like a little city under, like the perspective play that happens is actually insane. And we have to appreciate how good this figure is right here. Alright, face. Or female figure, I guess, and then face. Sort of face. It's fucking crazy. Then I think this is like a finger, or what could be a figure. And then it just transforms into like foliage and grapes. And this is like a tree. Now, unlike last week's artist's artwork breakdown, and when we were looking at Quasimondo's work, right? This is figurative enough that I'm able to actually apply certain things to it without fear, right? Because it's literally figurative enough. Right? If it was fully abstract, I wouldn't be able to be like, hey, that looks like a tree, you know? And so you have to know the difference of abstraction that's happening within the use of AI as well, right? It's actually quite interesting. Tree. And then like a hand in it, like a figure like tied to the tree. Now part of me is wondering, like, is he painting on these? Like, maybe not actually. Like, look how nice that is. It's like melting figure sort of into hell or whatever, like, because like this sort of creates like as if you're looking off a cliff or something, although it's just seemingly like a stake that this figure is holding, right? But still, it's like the difference of tonality and then like light coming from the bottom, like what's down there, and then just the central figure like lit up in the middle. Hold on, what's going on with the zoom in? Let me just reset. Right, like, and then you got a like little rainbow that's happening also. I don't know if you can see it on stream, but there's like a little rainbow going around right in the middle. Oh. And you can see it like in the arms, and it's like almost I think it might actually be a perfect circle. And then actually also I really fuck with the hair texture. It sort of fits the like the weirdness, you know. Again, it's just stuff we haven't seen before, right? Gets produced, and now when the shit sort of becomes canon and gets used for like future artworks and stuff, we're gonna see a whole bunch of new imagery just like this that we haven't seen, right? Or a bunch of imagery that's building on top of this that we haven't seen. Also, I just noticed there's this is like a figure down here also, right? Nose, two eyes, hand. This whatever if it's style GAN or whatever he's using or whatever he trained his AI on, it's actually insane. Insane. So that was Eros Rising. We're gonna go look at Inferno, which is actually one of my favorite pieces. I think I'm pretty sure I've seen this in a painting before. What's this? It's Dante's Inferno. Yeah, Dante's Inferno. But there's like a painting. So, if you're curious, these are by Gustav Doré. I know this because I have a Gustav Doré. It might actually be Gustav Doré. I'm not too sure. There we go. That's the one. We found it. We found it. It's actually a really nice painting. By William Alphonse Bourgeois. God damn, bro. Talk about the bourgeoisie. God damn. Oh, I'm gonna save his work for later. I only knew about this because, you know, vampires and stuff and demons and you know, when you're like young looking at paintings. So let me just drag this boy right here, close to there, right? So this is sort of where we actually get to see the training in like sort of work. And I think it's actually very cool. And so, let me, well, let me pull this one out. Let me pull this one out. There we go. There we go. So we get to we get to see the difference, and we're also able to tell that Von Doyle has a varying control over the differences his AI itself is able to implement within the pictures, right? Because not a lot has changed, but also a lot has changed, right? Like the figures are kept the same, the sort of emotion is kept the same, right? And the face is pretty much kept the same, right? Not there when you zoom in a little bit, but then everything else, almost all the textures have been changed completely, right? And so when we zoom in, right, say let's zoom in on the face right here. Let's zoom in on the face right here. Get it nice and big, right? You already see the difference. Oh, you see, like the face has been smoothed out. AI has like done its like, you know, softening thing, and then look at the hand immediately. And it's quite. This is like a little nice lesson on how forms work, because look how good the back is translating, regardless of how weird it fucking looks. Also how shiny it looks. It looks like sweatier. Maybe he did go in and paint. I don't know if he goes in and paint, right? Like, if you look at the hand, you see how it's like the textures, the textures have been completely changed, right? And then here is when the AI like starts to fully do its thing. Like, whoa, hey, whoa. Right? It's actually very nice. And then yeah, let's zoom in on the face a little bit, because also the face hasn't been changed that much. It's just been sort of smoothed out. And so this is, again, as stated before, this is where we get to see Von Doyle like push and pull what the AI does. Right? Like, it's actually very cool. Then look at the background. Right, the wings start to blend with the background. Let's look at Monster Demon. Wow, right? All these figures in the back sort of blend into. I don't want to talk to Cortana. No, I didn't even noticed these figures in the back. Wow, you actually noticed them now. Wow, that's actually wild. Yo, hold on a minute. Yeah, those eyes, insane. Yeah, from afar they just look like graves, but once you stare at them up close, they're literally all these figures, right? So this AI is able to keep the shape of the figures, or even the gesture of the figures, and just change them completely. Because, like, I can see literally every figure. That figure, that's this face right here, right? Legs and thigh, legs and thigh, legs, knee, legs and knee. Right, it sort of gets lost here. Like, that's when the AI like fully takes over, right? But even then, like, sort of arm, head, right? Like, that's a whole figure right there. You know, I'm telling you, like, new source material, right? Wow. Whoever owns this, like, fucking, god damn it, we gotta go to war. We're gonna go to war. Like, wow. See, did it keep the? No, it didn't keep the signature. Even look at the depth that gets created, regardless of like how small these areas are. Like, look at there, right? Just normal shadow under the legs, but here you got depth. It's like, what's under his legs? And then here it's just trees. But wow. Right? It's like it feels as if they're in a cave. In this one, right? As if it's in a cave with a wall or something. And here it's just the clouds. It's actually great. And just also, like, you have to appreciate the colors that have been added to the skin tones, right? Reds and greens and purples. Right here it's just like yellows and whites. You know, it's or like I'm forgetting the name of the specific like they aren't, what is it? It's a specific oil paint that you can use. I gotta get my test bag up, big up. Wait, hold on. I gotta get my Tez bag up big time. A lot of big artists are migrating over to Hen and they aren't selling their work for cheap at all. Oh yeah. Dude, I know. What is it? Quasimondo alone is selling his shit for fucking 2,000 now. It's insane. 2 fucking thousand. Tez. See, like, oh, yeah, we gotta get our bags up. We gotta get that shit up. But it's like funny enough, right? On object, what is it? And maybe on here too. This is pretty cheap for 1.7 Tez, and it's still pretty good quality. And it's actually really good, a really good work. That's like super abstract. So you can own a Don Doyle. Like even I myself, a Von Doyle. I've been thinking about buying this. It's 220, 275 editions, but you know, if shit moons on Tez for a while, like if shit really moons on Tez, like the number of editions, any edition sub 1,000 won't fucking matter. You know, Nifty Getaway sells like 6,000 editions for $800, shit like that, right? So, fuck. Now I want to fucking go. Now I want to buy this. There's only 18. Hey, fuck it. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. Might as well. And yeah, to anybody curious, you just click on the little thing, and then since you're like waiting on Etherscan, and yo, King Jesus, if you're curious, there's another one for like 1.8, 1.9. There is a bunch pretty good, and then it just randomly jumps up to 5. Yeah, so we're gonna look at Chimera in the Forest of the Digital Realm. This one is a 1 of 1, which I haven't seen a lot of actually. Van Doyle x David Chavistas collaboration, mixed media from physical to digital, oil painting and AI generated. Wait, does he own this? No, somebody bought this. Damn. Let's, you know how we do it. We hit the IPFS file, but also, oh, I got a new. I always forget to new tab it. Yeah, we got it. Hey, we got it. So we're looking at Chimera in the Forest of the Digital Dreams. And so if anybody's curious what a chimera is an animal made up of sort of two animals. It's like a biblical monster, I believe, something like that. Or not even. They appear in multiple mythologies, actually. Yeah, so it's not a biblical monster. It's a sort of classification of a religious like monster, right? And it's just a thing made out of two different animals, right? So click on chimeras quickly, right? It's like a fucking lion with fucking a deer on its head, right? Or like a lion with wings, stuff like that, right? And so we're looking at a person who is, you know, a chimera, so a human and something else. And the AI really goes to work on this. Right? It's like I sort of see like I could, that sort of looks like a dog, right? Eye, nose. Then once you zoom in, like this is actually fucking cool. Right? And then the way the tattoo gets changed. I actually can't tell where the leg is. And then here, this is the sort of depth I'm talking about, right? Like the AI is able to produce these like cities in such small areas. It's actually fucking crazy. It's like, what? Yeah, here, let me just put a landscape in there real quick, you know? Like as an oil painter, you'd struggle to just add this. So it's actually crazy. And I know we're looking at a major butt crack right now, but it's for the art. We're looking at the city down there. um, and then here, this sort of like maybe flowers, right? Like now look like organic brain material with like tentacle or like elephant trunks. It's actually fucking. It's a bit more stylized, I'd say, right? This is a collaborative work, right? So he's not using a Renaissance painting or something. That's old. To hybridize with this AI, this is something that's been painted now, and you can tell that it's pretty easily, right? Just the tattoo, the hairstyle, the figure, the colors being used, right? But even then, the AI introduces like sort of like Renaissance elements, if you will. You know, it's like just the background and the sky, and then the hair. Oh, sorry, the hair, not the hair, the fucking. The foliage. Well, actually, also a little bit the hair here. The way it mixes with, I don't know what the fuck you call these, like sort of grapes. Like I keep calling them grapes because they really look like grapes to me. It's actually, I think I need to go see a doctor or something because like if that's grapes, like goddamn. And then also look at how the figure changes. And then when the shadow turns a little bit fleshy, and then like is that sort of looks like an eye? Yeah, there's like a face in her shoulder. It's like a dog in her shoulder. Wow, two dogs, and then one hairy elbow. I mean, again, then there's a figure there. You gotta love these like sort of, I guess like, well, not geometric but abstract blocks that are in the background as well. And then the sort of grape-like bubbles and organic shapes appear in the sky. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff happening there. Probably gonna buy it all. Sort of looks like a Titan. Eren Yeager. I haven't seen Attack on Titan since like fucking a few years though. A few years since high school. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't seen Attack on Titan since high school, so uh, yeah, we'll just leave that at that. This is Phantom, the Shining AI-generated art with a human touch. Right now is Phobos, wow. Phobos anointed Python with medicinal blocker to protect him from the burning, and fix the crown of rays on the boy's head. He saw the tragedy to come. Ovid. Who the fuck is Ovid? A lot of text too, which is quite nice. Ovid is a Roman poet. Ooh. Yeah, Roman poetry is a bit too dry for me, if I'm being fully honest. I like the Bukowski type of poetry. Alright, so it's some Greek mans. Again, we're getting the sort of Renaissance painting training. I don't fully remember what this painting is. What? It's not. So there's like a painting associated with the song "Entry of the Gods into Valhalla" because everybody likes to use that, but it's not this one. But I'm pretty sure this is like a war sort of. It's an amalgam. It might be an amalgamation or like a hybrid, a mix of a bunch of Renaissance paintings. But I've definitely seen this before. I can. It's the light. I know I've seen this before, and from Inferno we know that I just wish he included the painting he was using and mixing with his AI just so we can look at it and appreciate it even more. Because like comparing Inferno to the actual work was super nice. It makes you appreciate the work on a much higher level of detail. But yeah. So where do I start? I actually don't know where I start zooming in. It's like here. Let me start at the bottom actually, because I like that mix of green and orange that's happening. Again, right? These organic figures. Like, I don't know what he trained his AI on to keep producing these consistently, or how he got his AI to leave or pick and choose these, but these are fucking insane. And then the hair, maybe it's just like an overuse of dog images. And the figures. Wow. It's actually crazy. Is this the Sistine Chapel? Am I fucking tripping right here? Watch this beat the Sistine Chapel. I mean, no. But also, it could be. No, I'm just kidding. It's not. But I'm pretty sure this is a maybe not a Renaissance painting, but like it's a famous old painting. Just, I'm surprised by how good the horse is. If I'm saying silence, because I'm legitimately surprised by how good like these figures are. It's like a visual sort of a nice thing, right? But a nice visual shock that my brain is just digesting, right? Because it's just like, wow, like how is he picking and choosing which figures to smooth and which figures not to smooth? Is it like a stages of trading type thing, right? Where you just get multiple images and then you choose one that's halfway through full like stylization by AI. Like I don't know, because look how nice these figures are compared to stuff to like this and the horse and this. Like what are you doing? Maybe he's just trained his AI to like pick out key figures also. You know, like I don't know. I love to talk to him one day. One day we're gonna get to talk to him. Here we're gonna get it for the Meta Crew one day. It's crazy. Like it's riding a horse backwards, and then sort of like either. I'm really sure these are dogs, so I'm just gonna stop saying that because I said like dogs like 20 times. And just eyes. Hey, look at that horse. I mean, do you need anything more? Look how good this is. And, oh, the ceiling and shit. Wow. Or like maybe it could be a sky, you know? Just the detail that's in the background is also it's just like look at the tonal shift. You have blues, you have greens, you have yellows, orange, purple, right? Like beige orange, if you will, or gray orange, right? Orange, like different hints of blue with green. It's such a colorful work, right? And it's like for you to utilize this sort of color moving, like this color movement, you have to use a lot of gray because gray is what allows you to move in between different colors, right? You just like say you're like, oh, I'm gonna use I want to go from red or like blue to orange, right? You just add gray orange and gray blue, and then you start mixing it together, and it sort of blends nicely, right? And so just the color use, it's utilizing that gray to move, right? Look how much like this sounds like a weird phrase to say, but look how much colorful gray there is, right? And you're like, yo, what do you mean how much colorful gray there how much colorful gray there is? You don't think your eye can tell the difference, but your eye can tell the difference between so much tones of the same fucking color, right? Like gray gray or white has so many tones. Red, blue, all the colors have so many tones that your eye can tell the difference from when they're next to each other, and so it's wild. Then just like, oh, like that little ray of light is insane. Like I really wish I could look at the painting. Like the original painting that was used to produce this, like it would be like to compare and contrast that would be like wow, because like what's happening here has been changed so much, you know, or like what's happening here, or even here, and also what's at the background. Maybe it's I guarantee you it's clouds. This feels like as if it's clouds, right? That's a cloud right there. I'm thinking, but it would be cool. And also I wish we could. Oh, hey, remember that's one thing people don't include. Include the size and year, and also medium, right? So like digital image produced by AI, always include that. You don't really don't have to, but it's nice. It's good. It gives a ton of information pretty quickly that, well, you know, even if somebody were to hit the IPFS to look at it, hey, we just bought this. um, what is it? You still have like a ton of information that you can just show to somebody quickly, right? It's just easier on the eye. Like, like I compare the description to like the little white thing you have next to works in museums, because usually they have name, medium, year, and a little blurb about the artist. But all you usually need is name. Well, you don't even need the name. You just need medium, year, and size. I recommend size because we're fucking with the digital realm, so people would like to know the pixels by pixels, right? So this was Andromeda, AI generated art with a human touch. You would have thought she was a marble statue, except that a light breeze stirred her hair, and warm tears ran from her eyes. Tears. So this is the story of the man who sculpted, I think, a woman from stone, and then like prayed for the gods to turn her to give her life or something, and then they do. It's quite a nice work. It's a really nice work. Hey, we just gotta let these load. I was like, what are these? I didn't just open two random Hikitten pages. And so if you were watching a bit earlier, to anybody listening to this in the future, I just bought this um, right now. Just because it's like, that's like a hand. It's essentially like grapes on crack. Right? You see, like, I really fucking love how his AI produces these. And to see it do it in figures, it's just insane. And so again, it's like just like the hybridity between like Renaissance and old paintings and like AI is just so visually pleasing, and the style he's trained his AI on is just, it's insane. Like, look at this, look how nice this is. Look at the blue. Oh, look at that blue. Here, I'll go up a little bit right here. So right above chat. Anybody that's looking, look at that blue. Look at these purples. Oh my god. And also the best thing about digital is you don't have to worry about your blacks. Your blacks will actually look black. That's a thing that you struggle with as a painter, because you need to, your black sometimes will like look faded. It won't capture light properly. It's fucking weird. That's why in a lot of paintings, like, oh, we don't use black actually. Yeah, because it's like fucking difficult to use. But look at the like, you can still see the facial expression. It's crazy that the painting has been changed this much, and you can still see the facial expression. Right, and then to me, this feels as if it's a hand. My brain goes Egon Schiele hands, but that's because I'm a big fan of Egon Schiele. And I would recommend anybody look at the work of Egon Schiele if you are curious. Here, I'll actually. Egon Schiele. The man is a G, trained under Klimt, and his figures are some of my most favorite fucking things. And look at that hand right here. Or look at these hands. And his hands are fucking, like, even on female figures, like, the hands are fucking so, like, what's the word? Well, they're just stylized in a way, right? Like, you see, he also, I think, like, he's been inspired by himself, right? Because when you look at his pictures, like, I'm a big fan of this picture, but look, you see the sort of hand movement. It's the same thing. It's actually, but that's a little art history detour, I guess, if you will. Art history detour, yay! But yes, like, I can't really say a lot about this work, right? Because it's been changed so much. But I just, it's visually so nice. It's legitimately visually so nice, and the detail that's in this, it's insane. Like grapes on braids, like, oh my god, it's just visual candy, you know. Just like the color changes for the figures, right? The green, it's crazy, and you can still see the legs, right, and part of the arms, and then part of the hair. It's great. This one was Andromeda, and so we have two more pieces to look at. Hold Me Tight, which I think might be like an anatomical study sort of thing that was used with the AI. And we have Falling, so we're gonna look at Hold Me Tight. Love is a thing full of anxious fear. Ovid. So we're getting a little bit more consistent quotes by Ovid. He really likes Greek poetry. I like this because of its anatomical nature. Sort of, it's as if like you're looking at like a painted Da Vinci study. If you've ever seen Da Vinci anatomy studies, for example, it's like stuff like this. right? It resembles this completely. You know, it's like, oh, right here. You see? It's great stuff, and I think people hypothesize that he either like robbed the grave himself to learn how to paint these organs and stuff. So like Renaissance times were fucking wild. Um, yeah. So this is homie tight again. It's we're getting the same consistencies of style, right? And we can just see him further develop a few things with the AI, mainly the organic figures and the textures in the background, and also the eyes. Here we get to see how it sort of looks a bit blurry in the ribs area, but when you zoom in, it's like sort of you get to see how the color changes and forms blobs. This sort of feels a bit like it's an image, which is actually cool. And then that's like a skin flap, your open back rib, if you will. Then there's like a little face saying hello there. That's actually, hey, hello, how's it going? Remember, buy our NFTs. Don't ape into every project that you see. Metaverse has been destroyed. Well, I mean, another little detour, right? Speaking of aping into every project, we can have ourselves a little tiny laugh. Just is it Metaverse HQ? Is it the no? The fuck? Metaverse. There we go. That's oh shit. That's not good. So yeah, don't listen to man's in the corner right here, and don't ape into every project because of hype, guys. If you're listening, ape into art. Art will feels 10 times better. Well, actually, don't ape into anything. You shouldn't be aping into anything if you don't have money to be aping into. If you don't have like, I guess expendable income. So I guess the term, yeah. But you know, just buy art. Don't buy random projects that get shilled on Twitter. Just buy art. It's I'm running out of like new things to say about the work, right? Just because it's essentially just him like picking a few things and just pushing the AI to develop it further. And I mean, here you get to see the AI like mess around with it a little bit more, right? Because it's like the muscle tendons are like sort of blending into like intestine, like sort of looking things, or like flesh looking things, and then there's an eye, and then so there's like some cool stuff happening, but it's just like further, I guess, just training of certain things, right? And it's again here we get to see a little bit more color, and the figure is a little bit more green, at least in the face, right? But we also get to see this little figure in the background, and you can appreciate the actual background, right, of this more. We get to see the patterns. It's more of the abstract block pattern than anything, with something like wavy texturing, I guess. It's like it looks like as if it's a brush texture, if you will, right? I'm talking about these little changes in tone, if you will. Right? It gives it a little nice depth, especially here. This is like, oh, what's going on here? It's like maybe like some land in the foreground or something. Like what the AI is able to achieve is actually very cool. This right here. Oh, you can't really see it. I'll zoom in again. I keep zooming out, but it's this part right here. Like even that, you get to see some of the AI texture at play right here, because it just looks as if it's a bit overlaid. But it's sort of what's happening in the background right here. So it fits, and when you zoom out, it actually looks pretty cool. So we will look at our last work for today. So this one is called Falling. It's for 25 edition, and here it's far more heavy focused than abstraction. So it's gonna be a little bit cooler to look at than the last one. Although the last one was pretty cool in its own right, actually. And so this is Falling. Any moment might be our last. Everything is more beautiful because we're doomed. You'll never be lovelier than you are now. We'll never be here again. Homer, the Iliad. Man's a lover of Greek poetry. There we go, eh? So, yeah, I'm pretty sure the Iliad is written in form of poetry. I had to read the Odyssey for English class, Homer's Odyssey, and it was let's just say the teachers made it boring. But here it's whoa, what is going on here actually? Look, it's like I think it's as if you caught the AI mid process, right? The image is being changed midway, and you just stopped it because you see how the AI works. It smooths stuff out. It sharpens or defines the main features, right? And then starts to blend stuff in. But here it sort of feels as if there's like multiple layers with like opacity lowered down. Maybe just how the blending is gonna turn out, but here it stands out a little bit, which is actually cool. So insight maybe on how the AI works, you know. And actually, wow. These legitimately look like brush strokes. I'm not gonna lie. This legitimately looks like somebody could have done this. Holy cow! How nice these figures are. Wow. Whole knees almost missing. Look how from afar. Yep, that's a knee right there. See what I mean by the human brain just fills the detail in. Look at these figures. Yo, these figures are cracked. What the fuck, dude? I didn't even noticed this figure. Oh wow. Well, I saw. Yeah, no, I noticed. I was like, what the hell? Yeah. Oh, these figures are actually cracked. Cracked in a good way. Cracked is a good term. Wow. Right, head morphing into sort of like dog. And there's an eye there, and then figure with an eye in the middle. It's actually wow. There's an eye in the back, right? Because this figure is falling on their back, so they have an eye in the back of their head. Yo. Actually fucking crazy. I'm like, is that him? Is that a self-portrait right there? Like maybe because it's the only figure that's sharp enough. Let's not change that. Who knows? I mean, usually when an artist puts it's not. Maybe it's just from the old painting, but a little trick if you're ever looking at paintings in museums and stuff. If there's like a random mysterious figure staring at you that's just like a little bit stands out, a lot of times it could be a self-portrait of the artist. Artists like to do that, including myself. Right, but look how well defined that figure is. It actually looks like it's legit. Well, right. I say it looks like it's painting, right? But that's because the AI is using a painting, right? But it's like even the stuff that the AI is adding looks like it's painted. And that's a big difference, right? Because like if you go to our breeder is able to do some pretty gnarly stuff, but it's pretty hard to get some pretty good looking stuff, right? You have to work it. I'm here in appreciation of just this hand. How this AI left this hand like that, goddamn, beautiful. Beautiful. I mean, then that little mustache. Or what looks like a mustache? It looks like a mustache to me. Man, these figures are insane. Excuse me, I'm just drinking a little bit of my, is it Calypso Triple Melon Lemonade. Although it is winter over here and it's cold as hell. Oh wow. Oh wow. Yo, this is also like an art lesson for me. I'm not even fucking kidding. Look at how, look at the difference of rendering that's happening and look how well that's reading. Like, yo, yo, look at this. That's just a difference in 2 tones, sort of. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Nah. Yeah, I'm gonna make study of this. I gotta make studies of this just for my own fucking self betterment of style. Oh my god. What this AI, what Von Doyle is able to produce is legitimately fucking mind blowing. And I say this as an artist, it's gonna be a fucking pleasure to study his work. Like, bro, oh my god, look how nice that is. That's fucking, yo, cracked. That is legitimately cracked. My god. And the butterfly is just kept all good. Right, it's just chilling, butterfly, all good, right? And just look at the toes. Yeah, like those are some weird ass fucking toes, my guy. Got an eye at the bottom of his fucking leg. Yo. Sort of fleshy over here. Yo, this is great. Like, I mean, just as like a figurative and abstracted figurative work, it's insane. And here, I just noticed this dog. Full dog, right? Full dog right here. Look at those dog teeth. I realize you can't see it here. Let me, whoa. Let me move chat somewhere here for now. Look at that dog. That's wild. But then, even the knees, like, god damn. I'm legitimately in awe of what we're seeing. It's like these figures. There's an artist that I follow on Instagram that sort of paints figures like this sort of thing, and it's insane. Wow. Like, look at this. Abstract enough, but also figurative enough. Like, oh my god, I have no words. I have no fucking words. I have no. Hey. He's just like sniffing your messages. I'm just kidding. I mean, yeah, it's this. I have no words, but this is great fucking work. Like, actually, this is insane level of work. Right, and when he says it's art inspired with a human touch, it really is, because some stuff is just being left clean and stuff. It's I don't know how he's doing it, but man, it's actually a pleasure to look at this shit. Man, that was all the pieces we're gonna look at for today for Von Doyle's. Everybody go follow him on Twitter at Von Doyle, VONDOYL. He doesn't have an E there, but his actual name has an E at the end. Yeah, go follow him if you'd like. Go buy some of his NFTs. He is on both Tezos and Ethereum. He has a Foundation and Maker's Place account, but he might be sold out on those. I'm not too sure. Here, actually, let me see. I'm pretty sure he's sold out. Sold out. And sold. Yeah, he's sold out. Well, he's sold out except for one is on the secondary market on Foundation for 2 ETH, which is not bad. I certainly would this work out for $1 million. No, but I'm just kidding. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed today's little art breakdown. Von Doyle's work is fucking insane. Yeah, I was looking today. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna talk about his art today. It's really great. and it's work that should not be passed in this space. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you ever want to get in contact with me, you can tag me in the Metakey Discord, or tag me in the Duat Residency channel in the Metakey Discord over there, and I'll respond to you. And you can also tag me on Twitter at Anubis_3100, and I'll respond to you there. I'm pretty responsive. King Jesus, yo, thanks for coming to the stream again, my mans. I really appreciate your support, and yo, thank you for buying my hen One Piece again. I really appreciate it, man. Yeah. To those listening, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next video, or what is it, the Sunday stream. Yeah, I'll see you on the Sunday stream. Have a good one. Bye.